What's up, all you legends? In order to get all these legendary Pokemon, you must have defeated the Elite Four in the game first. And now we're going to head to Beta Island, where we can input codes to unlock some of the legendary Pokemon. Make sure you do have room in your party. And the first password you're going to enter is Ice Wings. And this is the code for Articune. All of the codes entered in the system are case sensitive, so make sure you enter them correctly. You want to enter the correct big and small letters. And the next one we have here is Fire Wings, and this is for Moltres. This location on Beta Island is one of the main locations to unlocking a lot of the legendary Pokemon, so just remember this is the place where you're going to enter the codes and passwords. And here are some of the passwords for the Galarian form of the legendary birds. So once you've completed the game, come and enter all of these if you want any of these awesome legendary Pokemon. Next up, we have my favorite legendary Pokemon of all time, and that's Mewtwo. You're going to head to Capri City, where you'll find Giovanni sitting on a bench here. And if you talk to him, he will take us to Cerulean Cave, which is really cool. And then you'll end up finding Mewtwo in the same location that he usually is in the Cerulean Cave. So you want to work your way through. There are a couple items to pick up. You might want to take some time and collect everything. I'm just skipping everything just to take you directly to the route where we reach Mewtwo. Mewtwo is definitely my favorite legendary Pokemon. Let me know down in the comments which of the legendary Pokemon are your favorites. I'm very curious to hear. For the next couple legendary Pokemon, you're going to head back here to Beta Island, where you can enter the passwords. About half of the legendary Pokemon you can only obtain through password currently. And these passwords are for Raikou, Entei, Suicune, Ho-Oh, Lugia, as well as Celebi. So the passwords are all pretty similar. Here for Suicune, you're going to end GSC Suicune. And remember, all of these passwords are case sensitive. If you use all small letters or all large letters, they're not going to work. So just be careful when you input the passwords. But very simple and very easy. And Ho-Oh is also one of my favorites. I definitely prefer Ho-Oh over Lugia. And the final one is for Celebi. For Regirock, you're going to head to Pompano City, and you're going to make your way through the desert where we came and collected the flowers in some of the previous videos. I have done a complete playthrough of Pokemon Dark Worship, so if you haven't subscribe to my channel and take a look at the playlists. There is a Pokemon Dark Worship playlist, and here we've encountered Regirock in the cave. For Regice, you're gonna first head to Freeghast Cave, which is in Route 8, and there is another section here where you will encounter Regice. You're going to work your way through Freeghast Cave, as you usually do. We've just passed the nurse that you can heal your Pokemon, and we've reached the little puzzle where you can ski along the rocks. And then if you remember playing through the game, there was a section blocked here. This cave was blocked by a person. If you walk into the center, it will activate the Regice encounter. For Registeel, you're going to head to Route 12 from Route 11. This is the section of the game where you pass those Gyarados. And if you go a bit further, you'll reach a little cave. If you come to the center of the cave, it will activate the Registeel encounter. For Kyogre and Groudon, you're going to talk to Steven in Limia City, and he will teleport us to the new location here, where we can surf across. You're going to make your way along the path, up and down. There are a couple items for you to collect along the way, but then we're going to reach Wallace, who is going to allow us entry into this little cave here. So talk to Wallace and you'll be allowed through. You do need HM Flash, but it's not too tricky to work your way through it, and you'll reach these two people. If you talk to Archie, it will activate an encounter with Kyogre. After that, you can come talk to Maxie, and that will activate the encounter with Groudon. You can battle and now catch Groudon too. In order to encounter Rayquaza, you must have the Pokemon Relicanth as the first Pokemon in your party. You can find Relicanth in Victory Road when you use Dive. You also need to have the red and blue orbs that you get from Kyogre and Groudon, so you must have caught those two legendary Pokemon to first. And once you move Relicanth to the front of your party, that will unlock the door into the cave, and then Wallace will guide us up to where we encounter Rayquaza. In order to encounter Heatran, you need to make your way to Otomai Island and come talk to Tiroli, where he will fly us to the top of the mountain if you give him a bottle cap. And you can get bottle caps from catching Meowths. A lot of the Meowths hold bottle caps. And you're going to work your way through the upper section of the mountain, where you'll eventually reach a secret door where you will encounter Heatran for a battle. To encounter Darkrai, you need to head to the Hero Cemetery from Pompano City. You must have an escape rope with you, so make sure you buy one before trying to encounter Darkrai. At the end of the cemetery, you're going to use the escape rope to drop into a new unexplored area below the cemetery. Here there are a couple trainers and items that you will pass through, and you'll reach a magic portal. You also need a cleanse tag. You can find one hiding in that location where we just picked it up, and then you can walk through the teleportation to encounter Darkrai. For Shaymin and Arceus, we're going to head back to Beta Tower, where we can enter the passwords. These two legendary Pokemon are only available through password currently. For Shaymin, the password is Weed Garden, and for Arceus, it's God Creation. In order to encounter Reshiram and Zekrom, you're going to head to Route 7 from Abaco City. You're going to make your way down the path. There is a little section where we need to surf across and down, and you will find N sitting on this bench that was previously empty, and he will take us to Mystical Mountain, the very top, which is a brand new area. And here there's some kind of portal that has been unleashed, and then gives us a light stone, and this will then lead to the legendary Pokemon making an appearance through the portal. And here you will now have reached Zekrom, and Reshiram. You can battle them both and attempt to catch both of these amazing legendary Pokemon. In order to encounter Xerneas, you're going to head to the cave on Route 8, and you're going to make your way to the section that was previously blocked by these rocks. Now we can use Rock Smash and Strength to move some of these rocks out the way, and this will lead us to a new path to explore. You're going to make your way down the ladder where we will encounter Xerneas. Next up, if you're looking for Cosmog, Hoopa, Magearna, or Marshadow, these Pokemon can only be obtained through passwords in the game currently. The first password you're going to enter is Lost Light in order to obtain Cosmog. The next password is for Hoopa, and you're going to enter Unbound Hope. For the third Pokemon, you're going to enter the word Love Machine, and this will be for Magearna. And finally, the last Pokemon, Marshadow, you will enter password Ace Combat. In order to encounter Necrozma, you're going to head to Route 3 from Coral City. You can actually find this legendary Pokemon before you complete the Elite Four battle. You're going to make your way up and use Rock Climb, and Rock Climb again to go down, where you'll enter a secret cave where you'll encounter Necrozma. In order to encounter Zeraora, you're going to head to Route 15 from Limia City, and here you're going to use Surf to get across, where you will reach this little island leading to a cave. Once you surf across, you will encounter Zeraora. To encounter Nihilego, head to Route 9 from Capri City. The next couple Pokemon are all Ultra Beast Pokemon, which will be encountered through the portal. In order to encounter Buzzwole, you're going to head to Route 5 from Solar City and surf across to find the next blue portal for Buzzwole. In order to encounter Phermosa, the Ultra Beast, head to Route 6 from Abaco City, where you're going to make your way through and rock climb up to reach the next portal to encounter Phermosa. In order to encounter Xerneas, the Ultra Beast, you're going to head to Route 7 from Abaco City, where you will make your way south. Here you will then surf across and make your way east under the bridge, where you will eventually end up with the portal to Xerneas. In order to reach the Celesteela portal, you're going to make your way to Limia Port, where you will find the portal along the pier. To encounter Kartana, head to Route 11. You're going to have to surf across, where you will then make your way to an area you need to use Rock Climb, where you'll encounter the Kartana portal. In order to encounter Guzzlord, head to Route 14 from Pompano City. You're going to make your way around the area where the well was, and there is a portal by the two old men where you will reach Guzzlord. In order to encounter Poipole, you must have Cosmog in your party, and then head to Route 14 from Pompano City. It is really important that you have Cosmog in your party, otherwise it won't work. And then you will then reach the portal for Poipole. In order to encounter Stakataka, head to Route 17 from Pompano City, make your way up north to the Hero Cemetery, and once you're at the Hero Cemetery, you're gonna go all the way south and around. Once you're at the top, use Rock Climb to reach the portal for Stakataka. In order to encounter Blacephalon, you're gonna head to Otomai Island and talk to Tiroli again, who's gonna fly us to the top of the mountain. Once you enter the Otomai Island cave, you will encounter the portal for Blacephalon. In order to encounter Melmetal, you can find him in the wild in Route 20. In order to encounter Kubfu, you can also find him in the wild in Route 19. In order to encounter Regirock, you need to make your way to Mystical Mountain, enter the cave north of the Nurse, where you will lead to another cave, and when you step in the right position, it will activate the Regirock encounter. In order to encounter Regidrago, we need to make our way to Otomai Island again, and you're pretty much going to follow the path which led us to the temple earlier on in the game. But before we reach the temple, you're going to reach a little section here where we're going to use Surf, and instead of carrying on, we're going to surf to a little cave entrance. So it's a bit tricky to get through the trees, but you're going to go around and reach the little cave entrance. Once you step in the correct position, it will activate Regidrago. To encounter Latios and Latios, you first need the Aeon ticket, and this ticket can only be obtained by battling Andre in the Better Tower. You have to battle Andre multiple times. He gives you different rewards each time. There is a small chance that he will give you the Aeon ticket. Once you do have the tickets, this will allow you to encounter Latios as well as Latios. Both of these amazing legendaries are found in the Southern Islands. In order to encounter Deoxys, you're going to make your way to Birth Island, and here there is a little stone totem which you need to move around in the correct order. Once you have completed the puzzle and moved the stone 4 or 5 times, you will then encounter Deoxys. In order to encounter Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, you first need the Adamant Orb, Lustrous Orb, and Gracious Orb. The first orb you can pick up in this forest area north of Route 14. The remaining Lustrous and Gracious Orbs are rewarded by battling Andre in the Beta Tower. You have to battle him multiple times until he rewards you those specific orbs. Andre can reward you multiple items, so there is a small chance of him rewarding you with the orb. You just have to be consistent and continue battling him until you finally, luckily, get the items you want. Once you have the orbs, you're going to go to the temple on Otomai Island, there'll be a little earthquake before you enter. Then you need to leave the area, go south, go back towards the temple, and then enter. It is very important to leave the area before entering the temple. You will then enter the portal, which will teleport you to a new area where you will be able to encounter some of these legendary Pokemon. The first Pokemon we encounter is Dialga. You can then again enter the portal if you have the correct orb. Here we have used the Lustrous Orb, which will allow us to encounter Palkia. And finally, using the Gracious Orb, you can enter the portal again and make your way south in order to encounter Giratina. In order to encounter Regigigas, you first must have caught all 5 Regi Pokemon and have them in your party. So Regigigas really is the toughest one to try and catch. Then you're going to enter Snow Hill, the little cave here, where we had to unfreeze the gym leader. And if you have all 5 Regi Pokemon in your party and you interact with the book, it will activate the Regigigas appearance. In order to obtain Cresselia, you're going to enter the password Luna Queen in Beta Tower. In order to encounter Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion, you're going to head to the cave on Route 3. This little cave usually connected the 2 cities, but now we're going to surf across this little patch of water where we'll enter a cave, encountering Terrakion. After defeating Terrakion, you can head up north where you will encounter Virizion. And after defeating Virizion, you can head east to encounter Cobalion. Thundurus, Landorus, and Tornadus are all roaming Pokemon, but first you need to activate them. So first we're going to head to the power plant on Route 7. Once you reach the power plant, you're going to enter and find a scientist. Once you talk to the scientist, that will activate Thundurus in your roaming maps. Next, you're going to head to Pompano City, where you have to chat with the scientist, and this will enable roaming Landorus. So come and chat to him, and once you leave, you will find roaming Landorus in your maps. Finally, to activate roaming Tornadus, you're going to chat with the scientist in Rangaro City, and once you have spoken to him and left the building, you can open your maps to find roaming Tornadus. In order to encounter Kyurem, you must have Reshiram and Zekrom both in your party. Once you have both those legendary Pokemon in your party, you're going to make your way back to Snow Hill, and this is going to be the area where we unfroze the gym leader previously in the game. You have to complete the little skiing puzzle and then make your way into the northern cave. And if you have Zekrom and Reshiram, both in your party and up front, it will unlock a new door which will allow us to encounter Kyogre. In order to encounter Yveltal, you need to head to Lurus Cave. So once you've entered Lurus Cave, you're gonna make your way into the northern section to encounter Yveltal. Diancie can be obtained at the Beta Tower by entering the password Bold Princess.